Hello there, Smiley.
Hi, Jane.
Defined by its perfect circular form, radiant yellow color, and distinguishing features, two vertical oval eyes, and a large upturned semicircular mouth, the image has grown to become the world-famous symbol of happiness. The yellow smiley face is experiencing a new renaissance in streetwear and beyond. You only have to look to the collections of Marc Jacobs and as a focal point of designer Cynthia Lu's brand Cactus Plant Flea Market. Everyone from UNDERCOVER, Supreme, and KAPITAL have all given their own interpretations of the smiley. Brands like Chinatown Market have become ambassadors for the smiley. From notepads, sunglasses, thermal-reactive basketballs, boxing gloves, and just about every other lifestyle product you can imagine. Behind the hype, the smiley face.
What happened to the American dream? What happened to the American dream? It came true. You're looking at it.
One of the most memorable subversions of the smiley face is the blood-splattered version that was used as a recurring motif in Alan Moore's satirical superhero graphic novel Watchmen. The ominous take on the smiley, which featured a combination of grin and blood splatter, was best associated with the uniform of Watchmen's most corrupt and violent vigilante, the comedian. Watchmen artist Dave Gibbons best explains the mystique by saying, "It's just a yellow field with 3 marks on it. It couldn't be more simple. And so to that degree, it's empty. It's ready for meaning. If you take it and put it on a riot policeman's gas mask, it becomes something completely different." You've seen it everywhere, from emojis on your phone, coffee mugs, AirPod cases, bumper stickers, friendship bracelets, and basketballs. Cynthia Lu of Cactus Plant Flea Market is one of the influential names who's leveraged the connotations of the smiley. Her twisted takes, which notoriously sell out on their sporadic drops, have earned her collaborations with the likes of Kanye West and Kid Cudi, Nigo's Human Made, and more recently as charity merch with Denim Tears to raise relief funds during the COVID-19 pandemic. Likewise, LA label Camp High has made the smiley part of their cozy lifestyle uniforms. The motif appears on everything from patches, tags, and even hand drawings by one of the founder's own children, Charlie. The brand also teamed up with LA label A Love Movement, who have been using the smiley as part of their hippie identity for years. While the 1994 film Forrest Gump might have you believe Tom Hanks' mud-spattered t-shirt provided the origin for the smiley,
Have a nice day.
there's actually a surprisingly complex history behind the simple graphic.
We have a company that you can join for free.
While the origin of the design is contested, most paths lead to the 1963 American children's TV program called The Funny Company, which featured a crude smiley face as a kids' club logo. It was shown on their caps, in the end titles, and the final message, "Keep smiling." At the same time, Harvey Ball, a commercial artist in Worcester, Massachusetts, was working on a friendship campaign for State Mutual Life Assurance in hopes that he would design an image to boost morale. Ball drew a simple smiling face on a yellow background and sold the design for a whopping $45 US. The origins of the design still remain open due to the lack of trademark done by Ball or the insurance company. In the early 70s, two brothers, Bernard and Murray Spain, based in Philadelphia, used the classic smiley design to sell novelties. Despite their acknowledgement of Harvey's design, the brothers publicly took credit for the icon when they appeared on the television show What's My Line. Over time, the smiley is mutated into a signifier of various subcultures: drugs, electronic music, personal freedoms, and anti-capitalist attitudes. Talking Heads distorted the smiley for their iconic Psycho Killer single, while bands like the Dead Kennedys put a more political spin on the graphic with their Uber Allies release, which saw a collage of Californian Governor Jerry Brown and a Nuremberg-style rally that replaced swastikas with large smileys. In the late 80s, the smiley transitioned from dream symbol to youthful rebellion. Artists like Danny Rampling are credited for the first use of the smiley in rave culture through flyers for his Night Shoom, the very first Balearic house night in London. But it wasn't long before ravers across UK adopted the smiley as a symbol of sweaty liberation, as the second summer of love, a period of blissed-out weekend ecstasy in 1998. While the media's initial response to this new youth cult was positive during the summer, it quickly took a downturn in the autumn, as smiley culture was associated with headlines like Evil of Ecstasy and Shoot These Drug Barons. In the 90s, Nirvana famously had their own unique takes with the logo, having crossed-out eyes and a drooling mouth for their iconic Corporate Rock Whores t-shirt. During the last decade, the smiley's ubiquity has only grown and become further woven into the fabric of pop culture history.
You know, it's funny how I think the smiley face has kind of popped up in different times of my life. Really has become kind of a beacon of like happiness and positivity in a kind of world where, you know, things are very negative and, you know, honestly just down.
It's this universal appeal that has undoubtedly made the smiley an icon of inspiration for KAPITAL's founder and designer Kiro Hirata, who's incorporated the nostalgic feel-good associations of the smiley to express his idea of freedom, hedonism, and experimentation. Think Pharrell's Happy, the multi-million selling #1 single to the unforgettable animation Despicable Me 2. Featuring the smiley on the special vinyl release, Pharrell, an artist who's known for having synesthesia, said, "Happy has always been yellow for me." So as we head into an age of uncertainty, is there any deeper cultural meaning that we can take from the smiley? Mike Sherman still believes the icon's power is a source of joy, even when things get bad. We're talking about an icon born during the depths of the Cold War and Vietnam, designed the same year President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. After all, life is never perfect, but the smiley lives on. Behind the Hype.